welcome to Logic Lounge with Fleas and Jones. That's me. Episode 45. Brought to you by Block Legend 7. Shouts out to Block. Shouts out to ING. Shouts out to ING LLC. ING Records LLC. Correction. 45 episodes, man. 45 episodes. I am 5 away from 50, man. Grateful is an understatement. But, man, I got to kick it out. Man, I got to say, free Giggles J25, man. We miss Giggles, you know what I mean? That situation is something crazy. 45 episodes. Got to be honest, man. Lately, been going through it. And I know that's something that everybody's been dealing with, whether it's financial, mental, physical. Shit is crazy right now. But this particular week, man, or the week that just passed, has been a harsher week for me. A harsher week, already dealing with physical issues and things of that sort. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I forgot to do the do not disturb. A call could have got in, anything would have messed up on live. I ain't going to do that. That show you where my brain has been, man. It's been a lot going on mentally for me. A lot of reflection on not just me, but things around me, man. Because I got some of my closest peoples are going through it. And it just seems non-stop, man. It's non-stop like a motherfucker. It is so much going on right now, and the shit is just continuously powerful. With that said, man, me deciding to do the topic of is religion a band-aid for reality is because that's what I'm seeing a lot of. Now, let me be very clear. I am not speaking about those that I know wholeheartedly believe in God, believe in the Bible, they spread joy, they deal with things as they come, they set their stance. That's where they are. Man, I'm talking about most of the people that's using it either for money or a scapegoat. I feel like that's a band-aid for reality. Because, look, one of my biggest things, man, I said it in my promo, my grandmother taught me that we are God's children. But this place called Earth, and it's the devil's land. So when I hear that, younger me didn't understand that. Older me instantly thinks survival. So with that said, no disrespect to the big guy upstairs, there's some things down here that I just don't believe prayer will help with. So I'll use somebody like my mother as an example. All the time, my mother's a witness. She's a Jehovah's Witness, been like that for a long time, had her outs, got back in, things of that sort. Life happens. But I notice no matter what's going on, you see the news, you see elderly getting robbed, you see, young children losing their lives just trying to have fun, go out. And I notice a lot. My mother's like, something like that happened, Jehovah got me. And I look sometimes, you don't want to take nobody from they believe. You don't want to take nobody from what they believe, because that's not your place. Unless you the type of person that's just like a Satanist and you out here sacrificing people with things of that sort. Listen, I don't have no judgment for you. I'll let you do what you do, my mother being one of those people. Excuse me. But I feel like a lot of it is scapegoat. A lot of us, God got me, God gone. Listen, the people that don't give a fuck are living lavish right now. The people that are genuine, give you the shirt off their back, do these things that most people will look at you and laugh at, man, we out here suffering. With that said, how do you get a person that constantly deal with that to see something better than what he or she sees at the moment? In my opinion, you don't. In my opinion, you straight don't. How could you? How could I feel like it's a beautiful sight at the end of all this hurt I'm dealing with right now? And I feel like religion masks a lot of things that's going on. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like I say, I am not an atheist. Not one of those people finna sit up there and bash. But I am one of those people that have so many questions. Most religious people I know like that, they don't really like talking to me about it. Because the questions I have, I guess, seem disrespectful. My thing is, listen, they told me the Bible was inspired by God, but written by man who is imperfect. How do you not have questions for something like that? Listen, one of the biggest threats that they used to do when I was coming up, because I grew up in a Baptist church, beforehand, my grandmother pretty much raised me. Mother had to work, father wasn't around. So my grandmother, God rest her soul, was Baptist. So in a Baptist church, I forbid you to ask a question like, man, it's so beautiful to see all this stuff that God has built. Like, how did he get here? Man, you'll get smacked in your mouth. I wasn't dissing to saying he wasn't here. I was just curious, how he got here. And then, like I say, you told me that it was inspired by God, but written by man who is imperfect. And I'm not supposed to have questions, and I'm not supposed to feel like that most of this is designed to blind our people, i.e., I'm using my mother again. I don't care what's going on. She gives it to him. And yes, in most cases, they tell you are supposed to, but what's the point of our five senses? If I don't have questions, man, I can't be I don't know what it is to be a humble servant. I don't know what that means when I've been taught survival most of my life. What's up, Alicia? You say your questions are valid. People don't know how to answer those questions because they don't have the answers. Well, say that. You see how you just said that? Do you know how much respect I'd have for a person if they just tell me, you know what, man, that's my beliefs. I believe this is what I believe. I don't know why I believe like that. Again, if you're not talking about hurting children, sacrificing people, things of that, I do not judge. There's nothing wrong with saying that you don't know. But then to be blinded and try to pass that off to other people, man, I feel it's beyond disrespectful. Again, which makes me raise the question, is religion a band-aid for reality? How are you upset with me because of all of the hurt and the pain that I see here? Let me tell you what's the threat that didn't bother me once I got older. As a kid, you do this, you're going to go to hell. You're going to burn in hell. Yo, how are we not in hell right now? How do you send a threat like that to me with everything that's going on right now? Kids can't even go out and play no more. Kids go out and play, they in danger just like we are. It's middle age. I thought that's what that was for. Like middle age, we have to watch certain things. Kids supposed to be able to be free. Elderly is supposed to be able to be free. It's like the top victims nowadays. And again, I don't pinpoint nobody other than what my experience is. Again, you tell that to somebody like my mother, she say Jehovah got it. I asked my mother one time, did you ever think that one day you could be wrong? Why I say that? Why did I say that? argument went to a whole different degree. It was almost like I was disrespectful. I have no intentions of being that. But how are you upset at me for having those questions? You gave me this brain, did you not? This brain works a certain way. Like, nah, for real, nah. Like, went off. Almost disowned your boy. From a question, have you ever thought that you might be wrong? I mean, we deal with what ifs all the time, right? That nobody talks about this what if. What if all this y'all doing means nothing? Again, I believe this world is too beautiful for me not to believe something supreme designed. But because I have questions, because I have a brain, I'm disrespectful. What does that remind you of? School. Do this. Why? Because. Just because? Nothing else. You just telling me to do something because. Say people don't like talking about religion and politics. And in all honesty, I understand it, brother, because there's never an end. There's never an end. I guarantee you, once this gets chopped up and gets out there are going to be so many people that feel like I'm bashing. Some people may even call me an atheist, and I'm just not like that. Young God Jones. Shouts out to ING, man. The legendary ING. Excuse me. If you made us in your image, how are we not amazing? Why is this book designed to make me believe something that may or may not happen? And down here, you're made to understand, not believe, you're made to understand that if you do something, to every cause there is an effect. That's just straight up facts. You say, Alicia, how you disrespect? I'm thinking, saying, how are you disrespectful? Because you have questions. Nowhere in that Bible does it say if you have questions, you can't ask them. Shouts out. Salute. Brother Nafi say you got a brain, you're supposed to question everything. Thank you. That's what I mean. They say you were designed, he made you in his image. Okay. Well, why can't I still be inquisitive? Never once have I ever said, God ain't never did nothing. I ain't said that. I just got questions about the being. But I guarantee you that Bible blinds most people from things that are going on. And then we don't even talk about how some of those people that are in power behind that Bible, man, they not the most righteous people. Let's talk about it. You see it all the time. I ain't even finna get into the whole 10% thing. Pay your tithes. Who am I paying my tithes to? I always thought how you pay your tithes is in what you do for others around. For example, you happen to be on the block that you know somebody dealing with some harsher times, and you got it and they don't, and you just decide to help them out. What is my perspective of God? I'll say this. It's hard for me to have a full perspective on it because of all of the yes men that speak for me. If that makes any sense. Because my initial was, this is a supreme being that loves me, that created all this for me to live in, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Wait, hold on. You ask questions to get understanding. The Bible says God is not the author of confusion, so asking questions shouldn't be a problem. You need to be a preacher, Mr. Alicia. Straight up. Because like I say, the way you're talking and the way you're responding to what I'm saying, nowhere near how most of these religious people respond at all. Brother Nafi said, do you believe there's a heaven and hell? No. I do believe that, listen, I do believe that I do believe there will be a paradise, but heaven and hell, no. Especially hell. I can't really speak for heaven. I say no to hell because I feel like we're in that now. You know, the things that my granny used to warn me about, you know, not knowing the weather, things like that. You think about it, we haven't had regular seasons in years. We just gotten used to it. People are going against certain religious beliefs. You know, the natural ones, like Miss Alicia here, who I know wholeheartedly believes and doesn't look down on me because I have questions. You know what I mean? That it's I believe hell is here. So to worry about eternal damnation, I feel like, man, for my life here, I've been dealing with that. Say, all yes men are yes men. Bible says, beware of false prophets. So you talking it, Alicia. Brother Nafi say, nobody has came and told us anything after they have passed away. How do we believe any of it? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Shouts out, Shot Nikki. Oh, it's all love. We appreciate you being here, period. That's what I'm saying. How do you? Pardon me. But again, I have worked with people that just straight up say they do not believe, right? And I'm not in agreement with them. They're like, there is no God. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But again, how do you not question what's after this when you're down here? When you're down here. First horror story that I had that was out the Bible. The story of Job. And it took Brother Nafi to put me on to the end of it, because the story I was told was all about what was taken from him and how that began. The fact that Satan was telling God that, yo, they only praise you because of what you give them. You take that all away and they won't. And God allowed the devil to test him. Said, do what you will, everything but kill him. Man, that was a horror story to me. And one of the first questions I had was like, well, why would God do that? Why did I ask that? Have they used religion to manipulate us and scare us to death? I think so. I don't know about scare us to death, but I almost think it's kind of a form of mind control. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like, because, like I was saying, like you went to school and a teacher told you to do something, and if you asked why, and you didn't mean to be disrespectful by asking why, you just being a kid and asking why, it was because. That was an answer. Because that was an answer. And you just had to do it. So I definitely believe it was made to put fear and definitely manipulate us. I don't know about scare us to death, because you got people like myself, and I know there's some people like-minded like me, that just it's not so easy to scare us when it comes to that. Because like I say, look at what I'm dealing with on an everyday basis. So how would that really scare me? Say, did religion brainwash our parents and grandparents? Absolutely. Especially the grandparents. Me and my brother just had to talk where they was like, you get killed back in the day if you tried to read. The moment they decide to let us read, this is what you bring. It's definitely a scare tactic and definitely a brainwash tactic. So Alicia say because it's not an answer. They said that because they didn't know the answer. And that's fact. But I'll go back to how you broke it down. Then why not just say that? If you ask me something, pardon me, y'all, and I don't know the answer, guess what? I'm going to tell you I don't know. Hell, I might even tell you, let me look into that. Let me research that. But if you don't know, or to get upset, like, well, why do you feel this? Because. What, nigga? Like, what? Fuck out of here. Say, so the Bible has been manipulated. Again, Brother Nafi, inspired by God, written by me, who is imperfect. I don't even know what else to say past that. Like that, if that doesn't put a question mark on your forehead, I don't know what will. Again, let me be clear. I am not taking away for those who wholeheartedly believe, who wholeheartedly practice. They just had that belief for a better tomorrow. I am not trying to take that away from you. I'm speaking for those that have had constant questions and we slapped on the hands or on the back of our necks because of these questions. Yet, this mind is made to be inquisitive. Don't make sense to me. Why are the young people not going to church like we did when we were growing up? What you mean? Because what parents do they have to force them to go? Did you go because you wanted to go? I remember I went because my granny took me. Sunday was church, Sunday school, and service. I don't believe there was ever a time, again, no disrespect intended, that I said, hey, let's go to church. Again, going back to what you say, it's like the manipulation, brainwash. We going to church, boy. Just like how you went to church and you you praised for that moment, then you went right back to your reality from ass whoopings, cussing like a sailor, smoking, drinking, do me. Hold on. Let me see what Alicia Tom say. Let me answer that question, Nafi, about the youth. Say the youth don't do. Wait, go due to judgment from other older church goers? I'm not sure what you mean. The youth don't go. I got you. The youth don't go due to judgment from the older church goers. They judge them so much about their lifestyle and what they are doing, like they never smoked or drink in their life. That's a dope answer. Definitely a different perspective. But the only reason I'm in somewhat disagreement with that is because, like I say, the grandparents, they were doing it when they was taking us to church. Not saying your particular people, but I'm saying, like, for that moment, it was almost like be good at school. Once you got out of school, you were able to just run crazy and do whatever the hell you wanted. You were never given that type of choice. You went because you had to go. You went because you had to go. I've experienced this before. See, I understand that with you, Alicia, because that's that hard to go. So I'm pretty sure, man, they you know, we done had stories before, and I just definitely didn't agree with everything that happened to you. But I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. Feeling judged all the time, just being put in positions that you don't want to be put in just because a person said you should be put in this position. That's bullshit all the way around. That's bullshit all the way around. You say, is church considered a coping mechanism? Damn, that's a bomb-ass question. I would think so for some people. it's hard for me to see it as a coping mechanism because I remember being forced to go. It took me to be older, like, to get the message. You say, oh, like drinking and sex and every other drug. Yeah, man, you know what? Coping, that's the key word. Coping. Man, I see too much power behind religion to see it as a coping mechanism. So I'm gonna say my answer. I take that back. I don't think it's a coping mechanism, more of a power thing. Maybe for some of our grandparents, I believe mine in particular. Maybe she used that as a coping thing, like that was somewhere to go for her peace. But when I think about the leaders, people in power there, that's what I see power. Power behind that Bible. Now I can tell you what to do, or you doing this and you're wrong, and if you don't listen to me telling me you're wrong and change what I'm saying, you're gonna go to hell. You're gonna go to hell and you're gonna burn. Say I experience now with my aunt is like that. She quick to throw the Bible in your face 24/7, but she don't have a Bible in her face 24/7. Man, listen, you get it. You know where I'm coming from. That's fucked up, but that's real spiel. A lot of people are using it. That's why they are in there. There's no other reason to be there. What you mean? And so you saying it is a coping mechanism, Brother Nafi? You saying that's yeah, I honestly, you know what? That I could see that. Because once I got older, man, the people that got me in there made it to where I didn't go. I learned on my own. I listened to stories from all types of walks of life. Muslims, Baptists, Catholics. You know, I just listen to the stories, honestly. A lot of people can deal with life as it is. Or can't deal with life as it is. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. I am one of those people. I definitely have things that I use to get through this thing we call life. Absolutely do. So people, they can't deal with life, has to have some way to cope with it. But how would that be coping, man? When, like I say, you just what exactly are you coping? How exactly are you coping? Because it still feels like dictation to me. Like you said before, we don't know what's after this. We have had nobody in our family that we have lost, friends or family, that have come back to tell us, oh man, wait till y'all get here. Say religion is a drug. It absolutely can be. A lot of people are using the Bible to condemn people, which turns a lot of people away. The Bible says, judge not unless you want to be judged. People are getting high off of inspiration. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man, until you become a dictator. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting high off inspiration. But like, okay, Brother Nafi's a perfect example. You all about teaching, but never once have you ever said you know everything. Now tell me any religious leader that you have met, other than the one that gained your respect and gave you knowledge, have not been that type of person. Because they can't explain something. Because instead of saying you don't know, you rather tell a person, oh, they being disrespectful. But why would you say that? It's like you questioning God. I'm not, listen, I question everything that happens in my life. Why are you not supposed to question that shit? Again, I am not taking away from those who are true believers. You know, that's fine. I wish I had that same belief. But listen, man, because I got questions. Don't ridicule a nigga. Some people need to be dictated to because they can't think from themselves. So you saying it's okay in the religious sense? I'm not saying that's not, but that's personal. You know, when we speaking on a different level, that's like you'll be able to know who that person is, but when you deal with that person. But ain't no way you should have. You should be a dictator with something that's supposed to be as positive as the Bible. Dictation, nah. How you expect to get anybody? Some people are just not good at thinking. Now, that's real talk. Again, those people, you would run into it. You will run into that. And you will know, yo, this person is not the best at thinking. And then you can separate them from the situation. And you can deal with that. As a group, how you going to dictate something to me? How can you instill fear in the same place you're trying to instill love, unless you're talking about raising a child up into an adult? You going to scare me into religion? What up, Smitty? Say I had to tune in to this one. I've been waiting for this one. Nah, it's real talk, bro, because like I say, I am not, and you know, Smitty, you know how my brain goes. It's like Brother Nafi. It was time, I felt like. A lot of people are acting like things are not happening. And that makes me reflect on my upbringing and things that I've had questions about, and just looking at the times that we are in. And I notice a lot of people use religion as Band-Aids. Like they not seeing what's going on. I use my mother for example. Everything that goes on, she gives it to them. And I know we're supposed to, but do you give it to them when the gun's to your head? Do you give it to them when you should know, okay, I can make this move to protect my people? But I'm not, because, you know, you got it. I just don't believe that. You say, so once again, is religion a coping? Brother, I'm not going to say it is. No, I don't believe that's a right answer, because I see it as power, manipulation. Coping? How do you cope being dictated to? I can't say yes. I can say brainwash before cope. You so used to something that you just take. So I think religion is a straight control, mind control. Thank you. Do you believe because you had a bad experience with religion that you have not really gave it a good chance? That can be an absolute yes. That can be an absolute yes, because there were never times that my questions were embraced to where people wanted to wholeheartedly clear my confusion. It was always because. And man, this is from the one question of, man, yo, you saying he made the trees, the weather is because of him, the animals is because of him. How did he get here? Man, that's 3 different occasions. 3 different occasions I was looked at as I was being straight up disrespectful because I had a question. What I had understood of, I'm like, he ain't did that. I didn't say none of that. You had me. You had me. And I had a question, and you pushed me back. No. And that's what I'm saying, brother. I don't have the interest, because inspired by God, written by man. And anytime I had a question, I had dictation, tyrants, never somebody. How even right now, Nafi, how you're asking to try to get clarity. I know when somebody's trying to get clarity about something, that you're not once have you felt disrespected because of my question, and make me feel like I'm some type of idiot because I have a question. Like, no, you see the things that's going on. How do I believe that there's a paradise, brother, when young kids can't even go to the park no more? You feel me? Like that's crazy. Lisa says it's not disrespect. If you have not read the Bible in its entirety, then you truly have not given it a chance. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm only explaining my reason why. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Smitty, that's exactly why I see it that way. If there's only one God, then why so many different religions? I believe in God, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But let you express express that to a religious leader. And I won't even give it, I'll give it a low percentage. I'll be nice, say maybe 70%. They gonna look at you like you crazy, like you disrespectful as hell, like you doing all this for nothing. Have you tried to ask this question again to someone else to see if you can get your question answered? No, ma'am. Because at this point, it's pure survival, and I don't have the interest. I don't have the interest in it. Smitty say, oh, I have. They ain't like it. When was the last time that you've been to church? '2018. I went to a memorial at the Kingdom Hall out night. If you do not follow every move that these people make, they will disown you. They will disown you for having questions. So, like you would go anywhere else and get information if somebody tells you bad information. I know where you're going, brother, now. They made me lose interest. And at this point, I'm just rolling the dice. Because I move in a certain way anyway. I don't look to hurt anybody. I'm not looking to fuck nobody over. So it's a what if that's just, as of right now, not saying we don't know what tomorrow brings. Excuse me, we just had that conversation where what you feel today, you might not feel tomorrow. But as of right now, the interest is gone just because of that experience. The interest is gone. To church as an adult. Are you saying, what do you mean? I just said like the hall. I was a grown man. I went to the hall for that. I haven't been to a Baptist or Christian church since my granny was alive. So, nah. Do you believe God created us in his image and likeness? I don't know. That's a part of where I'm going. I don't know, because when people tell you that and you try to question that different, you try to not different, try to question that deeper, then you got dictation and you got tyrants that go all in, like you would say, all in your mouth like a dentist because you have questions. I would think that was the thing. That's what I was taught, that we were made in this image. So, my mind is supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to have questions. Look, I don't naturally want to hurt anybody. So that was one of the major things they made me believe. They God is a loving God. I was a loving person. I didn't want to hurt nobody. I had to learn that being on the devil's land. Because if you don't learn how to defend yourself, I probably wouldn't even be here to speak to you on my platform right now. But as I got older, I just didn't say, man, let me look at this and read it myself. The interest left. And some of these same people don't even know the Bible. They use it for scapegoating and give all their problems to him. Yes, sir, I do. The question was, do you own the Bible yourself at this present moment? Yes, I do. I have a Holy Bible. I have King James Version, as well as I have the scriptures that the witnesses use. Yes, I do. By the time I get to reading it, the interest is just not there. Because in my mind, because of the experience that I've had coming up, was inspired by God, written by man. So I'm instantly grabbing it like, no, man, they could be sending me off. You just don't know. It's too many what ifs. It's way too many what ifs. And then I see way too many people is using certain things they're using the Bible to scapegoat certain things. When was the last time you tried to read it? Actually, that was last time I got sick before I came home. But I was and that was in 2018. No, 2019. Last hospital in Iowa. Before the fallout with me, before everything went to shit for me. I lost the interest. Because in my mind, I kept on thinking like, man, how do I know? How do I know? Every time I try to get that understanding, I'm always buried with me trying to understand it growing up and people getting angry behind me. So to even try to have the knowledge myself, I just didn't. I'll probably have a better chance reading it with you, brother. Because by myself, the interest is just gone. Because like I say, you're speaking to a person that does believe, but at the same time, that paradise that most people speak about, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't say. They say study to show yourself approved. What does that mean? To show yourself approved? What do you mean like approved? Because I ain't looking for approval. I'm looking for understanding, so maybe I'm seeing that wrong. You know, one between you and the Creator. You and Alicia should have been there during my youth. I'd probably be a totally different person. Right? That gave me more comfort than words coming from my grandmother, God rest her soul. Now, I say I do that. I try to move in a righteous way. Like I say, I don't judge folks. I don't just try to harm folks for no reason. Now, do I have messed up moments? Absolutely. I'm human. Do I have intrusive, crazy-ass thoughts at times? Yes, I'm human. But I don't move like I've seen certain people move. And again, another thing that drives me away from the Bible is literally seeing what I see here on this earth. And they speak about what's happened after this life. I don't see it. Oh, every day, bro. I talk to him. I don't do the formal prayer, brother. Wait, hold on. I skipped. It's difficult to really fact check, and like you said, it's considered disrespectful to ask questions. My mind doesn't work like that. And people act as if being religious makes them better than those who aren't. Okay. Yeah. That's the majority of it. But then, like I say, Smitty, man, it takes, and it's crazy, it takes the people, that rock with me, that, that has been rocking with the Logic Lounge pretty much since I started. Like the question that Brother Nafi is asking, not one of his questions made me feel like he's dictating to me. Man, why you feel like that? That's how I can tell. I can tell that's what that is. Hold on. A lot of people translate the Bible incorrectly. The scripture says one thing, but the way somebody translated will not say what the Bible says. That's why you have to be careful with false prophets. See, man, you got a strong belief and you got a strong mind. Prayer's between you and God. There's no particular way. It's a conversation between you and him. And I have those, but let me explain to you why I feel like it's wrong. It's because I was told you are supposed to say, and I do in some of them, in the name of your son, Christ Jesus, amen. Sometimes I just wake up and talk to him. Look up and talk to him. My peoples know what I mean. Like, my personal issues make it to where I talk to him a lot. Sometimes it's not the friendliest of conversations, though. It's not. I don't curse him. I have mad respect, but I have so many questions. I tend to, I found myself when Brother Nafi asked me last time I read, when I had that last hospital event in the Quad Cities, I questioned him more than I've ever questioned him before. There were some real intrusive thoughts. Some people wake up, thank you God for waking me up, stretching my life. This makes today great. I used to wake up like, yo, why did you, why did you wake me up? Why did you wake me up? You know what I mean? I don't want to seem ungrateful for this gift that you've given me, Lord, but I don't see it as a gift right now because I'm suffering. I'm absolutely suffering. And they say everything happens for a reason. You say, where's the audio? Can y'all hear me? Because that might just be you, Smitty. I don't think my audio without. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. Let's see here. Brother Navi say there's no wrong way to pray. Everybody prays different. Okay, they can still, I don't know, you might have to jump back, come back in, Smitty. They saying they can still hear me. I'm not sure why you can't. Say, did you get the answers that you needed after you prayed? No. You know what? I'm going to say I don't know. Because right now I have a spectacular team. My brother, who I haven't talked to in years, linked back up with me, and a lot of things have been going different as far as my train of thought and how I move a little better for myself, because I was on my way out of here mentally, meaning that I just didn't care what happened. I wouldn't say I'm mad at him. I'm just confused I'm confused on how he moves. I'm confused on the thing he allows to happen. The things he allows to happen. And I try not to lay on that thought because I know I'm not the only person in the world that's dealing with the stuff he's dealing with. There's a lot of people dealing with things worse than me, and they have like the greatest attitude about it. I wouldn't say I'm mad at him. I'm just confused. I'm just confused and frustrated to a point that my mother say all the time, Jehovah doesn't force you. He works on those who wants to get to know him. I'm in that position of I don't really know if I want to get to know him. I don't know if I want to get to know him. Because like I say, first horror story I got was the story of Job. And Brother Nafi, you cleared that up for me, letting me know that he got all that back. I didn't know that. What they taught me was Satan said, he don't. They only praise you because of what you give them. And he said, do what you will, just don't kill them. And I couldn't understand that for the life of me. Say, God is not the author of confusion. Your prayers are being answered. But you got to listen to get those answers. And you know what? I've been told that again. That's what I mean by my team, because I learned a year ago from my brother that signs and symbols are for the conscious mind. And that's why I even answered that the way that I did just now, because initially I'd have been like, no, I don't feel like, but I'm like, wait a minute, because if it were not for my team right now, I do not know if I would be amongst the living. That's not to scare anybody. That's just my truth. That I was at a point mentally of, I was so sick of losing, so sick of loss, that it was like the biggest white flag I was waving. Biggest white flag ever. I was just done. So you gotta have faith. Faith, Hebrews 11:1. And maybe I will have that sit down with you, Navi. Maybe you might be the vessel to get me there. But as of right now, there's so many questions and so many times that I've been shut down from having questions coming up that the interest is just not there. Especially when I see the people that use it for the wrong, i.e., preachers and reverends being more well off than the flock, I'll say. The substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Man, listen. Hold on, I'm going to have to pin that. Because I need more clarity on that. I don't know what that fully means. The substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. But see, I don't understand that, because is that what you mean as far as like how the people feel that there will be something better after this life that we're living now, the paradise that they speak of? Is that a part of the evidence of things not seen? Is that the definition of faith? Gotta have faith. The size of a mustard seed. That's something else I need clarity on. These are things I've heard before but never got clarity on, so I never cared to research it. Never cared to. I don't see me having that joy on this land. On this land. Somewhat what, brother? This one should help. I'll say, man. You heard of affirmations of faith. Yes. Yes, I have. Okay. So, okay, like they say, positive affirmations, like what you do to get up to, you speak things into existence. Okay. Has that worked for you fully, sweetheart? That's what I'm saying. The question. Have you not seen? Come on now, you've been through it. Kicked in the mud. How do you still have that? How do you still have hope and faith that there's something better with all the bullshit you've dealt with? Now, I speak certain things into existence, but I can't lie. My team, my brother puts a spark in you that makes you feel that you can conquer anything you want to conquer. And I know that is from a place of love, and that is a place of understanding, and that's a place of somebody trying to build their brother up. But I don't get that in religious backgrounds. Speak those things that aren't as though they were. Damn, man, I hate to be a negative Nate in this situation, but man, I tried that and I completely lost everything that I worked for. There's no way that I wanted to come back and have to live with my mother, unless it was something she needed from her son. Like, no, this was a complete fall off. I begged for strength, I begged for all that. And in most cases, I hear people say, well, it wasn't meant, for you to be there. It was meant for you to come back here. And I hear that, and I try to, take that with a grain of salt, but it's the most bogus piece of salt to take ever. Let me see, hold on. You didn't come back for you. You came back because she needed you. You just didn't know it yet. You right. Because it initially started with me not being able to walk. And brother, you know that physically, because my stuff that is around me right now would not be in here if not for you and my brother, my other brother. Meaning I could barely walk. I couldn't drive the U-Haul to get back here. So yeah, we learned after a year, after finding out that I almost had a diabetic coma, that my mother did need me here. But it did not initially start like that. And that's where I had an issue. At least to say, after everything I've been through, I trust God. I've seen him heal me from things I didn't think I could make it out of. Been on my deathbed, and I called out to God, and he healed me. Man, I'm happy for you. I am. I'm happy for you. Because I've yet to believe that it was him that pulled me out of it. I believe it was my stubbornness that got me out of losing my leg. I know he gets you through things, but like I say, some things I just get real confused about. I get real confused on why certain people have to deal with certain shit. And when I hear you say that he got you, sometimes it does kind of, it's a sore spot because I don't feel like people like you should suffer. I don't. And the person that busts a head quickly or robs somebody quickly is living the lap of luxury here on earth. And I understand that there is something meant to be better, but this is where we live. This is where we have our human experience. So it's kind of hard for me to be grateful when I just see some of the craziest things continuously allowed to happen, and we continuously suffer. It's a heavy feeling. Could it be your lack of faith for the reason you are not delivered? I can't answer that. I don't know. I don't know. Does it put a spark under me to try to change that? No. I've suffered so much. At this point, I'm just going to fight until I can't fight no more. I'm going to fight until I can't fight. Because they say he gives you things you ask for, and I've yet to get the things that I've asked for. And I don't think I'm being unreasonable in what I'm asking for. I could be wrong, but these are just my thoughts. These are my thoughts and my feelings. I will not use religion as a scapegoat. I would just not use that. Those people who are busting heads open aren't living the life of luxury. They are living with the decisions that they made. They could be hurting inside, but you never know. Hey, listen, they could be hurting inside, but I don't see it. I see people getting put out. I see people that have health issues not getting help. That's what I see. He have little faith. That's a fair statement. It's almost to a point, man, if I have to be I know when it's over. How I'm gonna be judged, or what, if we get to talk to him, however that may go, that's where I'm at. I'll see once it's done. Unless I, get a couple more Alicias and brother Nafis to help me with that. This has been a magnificent. Thank you, brother. Magnificent episode. I do appreciate you. The things you are asking for, you may not have gotten them yet. It's in the works, but you gotta believe. Have faith. I love your spirit, Alicia. I do. I absolutely love your spirit. That it's things like that, and hearing the strength of Nafi and the realism of Nafi that kind of keep me going day to day, and makes it to where I don't curse God, because I do not believe I should curse him, because I'm not there to a point of hate and anger. It's just I'm confused to a point. I'm just like this. That's where I'm at. And on that note, man, that has been another episode of Logic Lounge, episode 45, y'all, brought to you by the great Block Legend 7. Shouts out to Block, man. Shouts out to ING. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Nafi, for coming through with your questions. Smitty, shout out. All my people that rock with me, man. Again, this was not a bashing episode. This was just, a release. I always want the lounge to be considered a safe place, a safe space where you can feel free to speak your piece, man. Like I say, unless you out here sacrificing people, man, I don't judge you. So thank you again for rocking with me, guys. I feel better, honestly, that I was able to get that off. that was definitely this was definitely one of them episodes, man. I love you all, like I say. Be back Wednesday as always. And I'm going to end it how I always end it. I tell them living off good instinct counts. So always keep your logic. Y'all have a safe week. Love y'all. We out.